It's good. You know what's so cool about the covering? That's what I love about it. Because God's not static. Is that every year my food gets bigger and sweeter.
Wow.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. He's just all about multiplication and abundance. And like, wow. For these poor farmers today that go to school and go into debt to get an education out of their food, they're spending more and more each year to produce less and less. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm telling you, being real. And that's got to be hard on the human psyche. That's got to be hard on you. Spend more and more each year to produce less and less, and here I'm doing nothing, and I get more and better. And it's unending. You know what my challenges are here is abundance. Things grow too fast, I have too much, and I can't contain them. I'm being real.
It's all right here.
And I so enjoy winter when it comes because I can finally catch up. During the summer, there's times I can't even sample some things I'm growing because I grew too fast and I can't get to them. So I only can eat so much in a day. And because it's so satisfying, don't eat a lot because it's just you're not hungry. I want to try that, but man, it's gone to seed. I didn't even get to try it. It grew too fast. So it's just fun. But it does have challenges. Abundance.
2 questions. You let all your leaves stay on the ground?
I wish I could. Do you notice I have no leaves in the ground?
I know, I was noticing that, so I thought maybe you put chips on top, no chips on.
No, we live in Washington State, in the Jefferson County. It gets southeasterly winds coming through at 40, 60 miles an hour all winter long. Mm-hmm. And all the leaves are totally blown off. I can't even find them in my pasture. They're out in my woods someplace. Mm-hmm. But I'm so thankful. These questions, listen, if you guys have questions as we go, please ask. Because they're awesome, and many times they really bring up stuff that's cool. So let me tell you the power of your question, how cool it is, because I want to show you how cool wood chips are. You see, when the wind blows, and it blows really hard here, my wood chips don't move. Mm-hmm. The irony of that is that dirt is heavier than wood chips. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. Dirt is considerably heavier than wood chips, and when the wind blows on dry dirt, it leaves. Mm-hmm. And wood chips, which are lighter, don't. Excuse me. Yay, God. I just think God's awesome.
Yeah.
And the reason they don't leave is because you see they're different sizes and they're all interconnected. Where dirt's all the same size and it's separated, where these guys are all connected. You know who thought this up? I tell you, these genius ideas, let me tell you something cool about God, about wood chips, is that wood chips has no brain.
Do they have a heart?
They're an inanimate object. They have no brain. Let me talk to you about wood chips that have no brain, what they do. Just down the road here, 70 miles, we have a rainforest. It's a whole rainforest that gets 14 feet, not inches, 14 feet of annual rainwater. Now, in your mind, picture 14 feet of water on the ground. Those of you who've seen my film, the girls are out walking in that forest like walking on my wood chips. It's not soggy, it's not boggy. Here, these wood chips with no brain have the ability to displace, to evaporate 14 feet of annual rainwater. And in my orchard, after we had a drought, they're retaining it. I don't know about you, but my mind racks because this is like genius. And they have no brain. When there's too much water, we evaporate it. And not enough, we hold on to it. Yeah. And they have no brain?
Yeah, that's the secret, I think. We have too much brain.
I'm just telling you, man, this designer, this creator is genius. Just like, wow, it's huge. It's amazing. Like, I love it. Let's walk over here and to the garden and look at some stuff and sample some things. Like I said, as questions come up, please ask me because they bring up really good things to talk about.
So if you had, do you not have a dirt
You see my dogs?
Okay.
That's why they're here.
So if you don't have, okay, you need to
If I didn't have dogs, they would take me out. Now you can see here. You can see here on the ends of this. You see some of this has been nibbled on.
Right.
The dog can get to them right away, but they're out here. But yeah, I have deer. They would destroy my trees. Mm-hmm. I mean, my food's good. Yeah. And they know that. And they're here every night. Every night they come because they want to get this stuff. But my dogs have been very good to repel them.
How old are the trees?
These older trees are 36 years old. These big ones over here.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot of little ones. And what's happening now, I'm going to show you later how to do it, is you see I'm so thankful that God in His kindness put some boundaries on me. You see I have a parking area here. Mm-hmm. I have a road here. I have a fence that used to be a pasture for horses. On the other side I have a garden. So I'm kind of locked in. And if I hadn't been, I would have not stopped. And you'll see a lot of little trees in here because I took big ones out to replace them. But I'm at the place now that I like my trees. I won't take any more out, so I'm doing a lot of grafting. I'm going to show you the power of grafting, how easy it is, and it's so awesome fun. And I think I'm approaching the supernatural. Well, I'm just telling you, you know how they create, all my trees are dwarf, by the way. And they shouldn't be this big. But what I'm finding about God is that he won't be dwarfed. Did you hear me? I'm going to show you over here why. I just love God. He's not going to be challenged. And he says, I won't be dwarfed. I don't care what you're going to do. I won't be stopped. Because he's just God. And so I grafted into so these guys who do, you know how you develop dwarf trees is you get a rootstock that doesn't develop a good root system, stays very small, and you graft into that, and now your cultivar, your fruit tree, is dwarfed because it has a small root system. I grafted into my trees last April. Guy came by with all kinds of signs, whatever the names, I just started plugging them in because I'm doing it. In April, I plugged in this dead stick, no foliage on it, just had been pruned off a tree in January, and in June I had 8 apples on it.
Wow.
I had to take off because the branch was going to break.
Right.
Now these people who do this for a living, they do the same thing. They grafted this into this rootstock, and they wait 2 to 3 years for a whip
Right.
with nothing on it. 2 to 3 years, and in 2 months I got 8 apples on this stick. I'm just telling you, I sense I'm moving into the supernatural because this is not what you experience in daily life. This is like, what? It's huge and it's fun because you're thinking like, and you kind of sense like God just likes to show off on occasion and just do stuff that just like, hey, hello, can I get your attention?
Was that a woodpecker?
Could be, yeah. You see in my trees all these holes that the woodpeckers did, but there's they work so hard to get nothing because there's no bugs in my trees.
Never been sprayed either.
No reason to spray.
Nope. Good.
We're talking. He brought up sprays. As we walk around, let me tell you about insects. Something God showed me that was really interesting. See, I was taught in school that insects are pests. Anybody went to that school?
Yep.
But as I'm in my garden one day, thinking about God and realizing who He is, He's love. His essence is love, and He does all things well. It didn't line up with His character to create pests. So I asked him about it. He says, they're not pests, they're my police force. I created insects to maintain a healthy environment. And insects' design and purpose are to take out stressed, dehydrated, unhealthy plants. So only healthy plants produce seed and maintain healthy plants. That's a great idea. And so whenever he tells me something, he always gives me a demonstration to validate it, because in the mouth of truth he witnesses truth is validated. So I had this celery I planted in my garden. If you ever plant celery, any gardeners here?
Yeah.
Celery seed, anybody plant celery? You know how tiny that seed is? I mean, it's like dust. So when you drop 1 free fall, they come in too thick. So I had all this celery coming up too thick, but they're really beautiful plants. And I'm thinking, like, I don't want to throw these away because they're nice plants. And so I took them to my herb garden. By herb garden, I've never seen a slug there, ever. They don't go to my herb garden. I don't know why, I just don't go there. So I took these plants that I bare rooted, and they were stressed, and I put in my herb garden. The next morning I come, and the place is covered with slugs, eating down all the celery that's moved in there. So I'm asking God, and I got to talk to him, what's up with this? He says, just watch. He always does that. Just watch. Because I think he likes me to get it here and pay attention. If you're told something, you'll lose it, but if you experience something, you don't lose it. So I come back the next day, and they've eaten all the foliage off, and now I have stumps. And I says, you tell me to keep watching, there'll be anything left. He says, just watch. Third day I come in, the slugs are all gone. Here's what he told me. He says, when you move those plants, they put out a message, a signal. I'm dying. I'm stressed. Take me out. And all these slugs who had never ever knew about your herb garden heard and came to comply. On the third day when that message stopped, they left. And then he said this, did you notice in your garden they never touched your celery? It was never stressed. The signal was never put out. And what I got in my spirit was that everything in nature except the human race, is connected to the Father, following His directions, all for the support of the environment. Everyone in nature is in communication, all for the support and maintenance of a healthy environment, except us. It's huge. It's huge. The communication is so amazing. And so watch this, third day. And they all grew back great. I gave them away, but you see they put out a signal. I'm stressed. Take me out. And what I'm finding at my place is that, you see, my produce is so full of water. You notice these apples, how much water's in them? Mm-hmm. And you guys eating the apples, so have you noticed that they're a little bit better than what you had before? Mm-hmm. You know? And I want you to eat that water. This is after a year of drought. We had a major drought, and these trees weren't watered. And it has that kind of water content. Because that's how it's supposed to be. And so when insects bite into my produce, they drown. I'm being real. You see, insects want cellulose and fiber, so they go after stressed, dehydrated plants that don't have water to get cellulose. They can't find it in mine. There's too much water. Now they'll eat the bottom leaves when they dry up. They'll eat those, but they'll never eat the healthy stuff because it's too healthy, too full of water. And see, God designed them for that purpose, to maintain perfect health on the earth. They're not pests. And so when you have insects eating your plants, they're telling you your plant's not well. So don't go kill the insect, get your plant well. You see, our whole education system is so backwards, so stupid, so like, duh.